Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Tom Slivick with Superintendent of Schools here with Superintendent Dick Glock. Sorry, I'm going to keep promoting or demoting you, whatever it is. Yeah. And we're going to take a look at some graphs, and we're going to kind of quickly just kind of go through those graphs. If you just look at them, you can see that the numbers are declining, and if you were a business, you would start to have some concern. I think we're going to stop on the one that's ACUSD 7 through 8 declining enrollment graph. And if we go over to the right, we'll see the last two blocks, and those are kind of the years that we're talking about. The first year is the year, the first block there, 12 through 13 is what we're talking about now. It has a number of 510, and this is for 7th and 8th graders. And we go down, we're going to see that we have a lower number there. We have 50 students less for the next year.
Right.
Okay, and what does a 6th grade look like?
Well, under option 3, we would leave, and if you're asking about the numbers, I don't have those broken out, but this under our current idea, for at least this coming year, we'd leave all the 6th grade students at the location they're currently at.
Okay. Maybe we should say quickly, option 1 was to put all of the 6th graders in Jackson Junior High.
Right.
All the 7th and 8th graders in Ione.
Right.
And of course, that's got to be a lot of problem for a lot of parents to look at right away. If you live up country and your kid's going to be on the bus going to Ione, that's a long ride, far away.
Well, what it got down to for us was we didn't give it up because of the transportation, although I think, you know, when you start thinking of a 6th grader on the bus for an hour, and we have that going on now. We have 7th and 8th graders on the bus from above Buckhorn out to Ione. So it's not something that can't be done, but is it desirable compared to having the 6th graders, say, at Plymouth or at Pioneer, that sort of thing? And really, we got ourselves backed into a corner last Friday when we were talking to the Pioneer teachers and staff, and they said that the 6th graders there have opportunity for strings and guitar. And it was like, okay, can we guarantee that that'll happen in the new arrangement? And you can't. And so it's like, okay, let's slow this train down and see what we could come up with in another 6-8 months time, and see if we can't get community input that people can get behind, rather than having them feel like, well, there's that governing board or there's that district office doing it to us again. Because as I hear about unification, that's kind of how people felt. And I don't want to be the superintendent that further reinforces or strengthens the divisiveness. We want to build some bridges in the community and not build walls.
Okay, so rather than maybe make this feel, this is my language, feel like this is being shoved down their throats rather quickly, which maybe we're getting used to as people here, but that's not a way to treat people, and it's certainly not the way to go about altering people's lives. Youngsters have dreams of even just playing a guitar, a stringed instrument or something. I mean, that means a lot on a very personal level. So I'm glad you're taking the time, and you're coming up with option 3. And why don't you explain this? It seems somewhat complicated to me, maybe just because I'm not sure what a Title I school is and all these other things, but explain this.
Well, in Title I are federal funds that are available to you based on the poverty rates, and in our case it's determined by the free and reduced lunch qualifications. And we have, for the first time, and this is what kind of trapped us originally, we didn't think far enough outside the box in terms of how those Title I funds can be spent. If all your schools qualify for Title I, it's the first time since that program director has been involved that all 6 elementary schools qualify. In the past, 4 have been the most. Usually it's 2, maybe 3 schools qualify. Well, this year, or for the first time, And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
I would think it's kind of a bad thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But
in this situation,
it
helps us. We can use the Title I money for all the elementary students. And really what we're doing with both the Opportunity Program, which is state funded, and the Title I is to fund regular ed programs out of categorical money. So in other words, the categorical money has strings attached to it. And normally you can't do what we're going to do. But because of our increasing poverty rate, we're able to do it. Now, it's not wise to do it very long, but we could do it for 1 year.
Okay, I want to make one thing clear. I think a lot of times people have an idea that the school lunch program is where maybe parents just voluntarily or arbitrarily, I guess would be a better word, would say, yeah, we qualify for this or that, but that's not the case. That's a provable fact, right?
Exactly.
Verifiable.
Yeah. They have to have proof.
Okay, so I just wanted to cross that bridge. So if there's any people out there that think this is isn't thought through, or the federal government's just throwing money away without checking it out, that's not the case. So we go Title I for a year, and what does that allow the schools to do to put this problem off for a while till people get behind it and decide what it is they want to do?
Well, what that does is it allows all the sixth graders to continue to attend the community school that they're in.
Okay.
And as I listen to the parents, they certainly welcome that, and I think all parents do. And it's not necessarily that. Even the supportive parents of waiting feel like, hey, having all the sixth graders together could be a good deal. But I think with what they have to give up in their current school, it's just not worth it to have the child, anywhere 15 to 30 minutes away when they're close right now.
Okay. And so how does this get put into operation, Mr. Glock? When does this take effect?
Well, tomorrow night we're going to have a governing board meeting, and we'll have I'm sure governing board members have been getting emails, voicemails, lots of feedback, and so I'm going to recommend that we slow the train down and do option 3 and hold community meetings. Perhaps some people have suggested, hey, just get everybody interested in the multi-purpose room, and it won't take long, and it'll winnow down to a very workable group. So I'm kind of inclined to do that, because as soon as you start appointing people, you leave somebody out. You leave people out. And our goal is to include people, not to exclude them. Do most people realize that this is this is going to be an ongoing issue, because it's not like there's not more kindergartners coming in. They're declining numbers as well, correct? I think people do realize it. I really do. People are very well read and connected, and so they see it as a bigger problem than a one-year deal, and I'm glad they do. So I think that's exactly right. It's like, what are the next steps? Okay, we've got King's X this coming year, but what are we going to do to get within our budget? And that's going to require some reconfiguring of the schools in some way. One high school's been talked about, one junior high. There's those kinds of things are going to come up, and how fast can we get to them will be the question. Okay, so a question I was going to ask you is that, well, obviously, if you're going to be putting this off because of option 3, and you're going to implement a program that's good for a year, and you'll be able to talk more about what they want, is that one of an option to where
I guess what option 1 is still in that option, where you might use the Jackson Junior for a grade level and Ione for another grade level, or as you just put out, it sounds like your possibility of just one junior high school?
Well, I think, we're
all
trapped
possibilities
by,
open.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying,
We're
right?
trapped by our facilities.
Okay.
Or we're limited. That's a parameter. We're also enhanced by
Actually, it
our
seems like we might
facilities.
have more facilities.
Right. Well, when we
Than we
absolutely do.
might
We have
need.
more facilities than we need, but the size of them limits us because neither junior high could hold all the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders,
Okay.
for instance. And neither high school could hold all the high school students. I mean, we could make it work. You can move in portables, or there's things you can do, but you try to avoid that. You try to have permanent structures. So.
Okay, well, it looks like there's a, if everything's open, everything's open. So people is that meeting tonight? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, but we're not going to make a decision tonight whether or not we decide to do option 3.
So this will be discussed
decided.
tonight.
Yeah, it'll be discussed, right.
And so if people want to get in on the discussion, and I'm sure they will. I understand you had quite a few people at a meeting that was held last night as well.
Yes, yeah, we had a.
And of course,
very
you
good-
always do. I've been around when you're talking about your kid. You're down there trying to find out, work out the best possibilities for them.
Sure.
And,
Well,
so
obviously our students, and I've got a student in high school now. They're your most precious. They're not really possessions, but they've been given to you to watch over, and it's a very precious situation. So I think we want to act that way.
Right, precious, the future, and there's an opportunity for input in this situation, and Mr. Glock, and I'm sure all of the board members as well, would like you to come by and get everything right, get this right. And we have a little bit of time here to address this problem. And I want to thank you once more, Superintendent
Thank you.
Dick Glock. Okay, and thanks for watching TSPN. We'll see you again next time.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.